Hot and heavy relationships, falling too fast, and why this fizzles out as fast as it starts typically. Hi everyone, I am your dating and relationship coach, and I am the founder of ApolloniaPonti.com. I am your coach for you men to master your attraction skills and build the confidence overall to better your life, better your dating lives and relationships lives, and understand really what women want. And in today's video, we are really going to talk about a very popular topic that a lot of us probably found ourselves in, and those are hot and heavy relationships, right? I know hot and heavy relationships can be a whirlwind of experiences because of the fact that it has such an endorphin rush, but then it just leaves us so hurt and confused when that person is not there anymore. Typically, they leave just as fast as they came. So let's get into why this may happen as well. So why hot and heavy relationships happen are typically a couple of reasons. Number one is because we are running away and we're doing circles around the things, the deeper work that needs to be within us, right? So typically it's kind of like this, where we have maybe a cut that needs stitches and we ignore the stitches and we can continue to put this Band-Aid on top of it, and then the Band-Aid falls off, and then we get another Band-Aid and we continue to put it on top of it. But the scar never heals because it might need stitches, which is work, right? Which is repair. And a lot of times people go into relationships because they're trying to run away from something else, from something of a feeling or an emotion or hurt or pain or loss even. And the moment we get that establishment of closeness or that establishment of closeness that goes on beyond the superficial physical element in these relationships, then what happens is the person disappears because it gets serious. And this is something that happens often to people also that are very codependent, that maybe haven't had a lot of experiences in relationships as well. And I think that with us knowing that hot and heavy relationships do come at a price. And if you find yourself constantly getting in hot and heavy relationships, or you're the person that is hot and heavy, I would really encourage you to turn around that microscope and look from within and what's going on here within you. And one of the reasons why I say that is because when we tend to run away, we continue to lose ourselves more and more in every relationship, where we just can hit rock bottom and get very depressed or confused. And in these hot and heavy relationships, the reason why this happens, and a lot of times with women in general, why this happens is because women want that feel, they long, no matter what, women long for a feeling, just like men too, I think, of wanting to be wanted, wanting to feel significant in some way of their beauty. And typically this comes in a physical realm. So in hot and heavy relationships, you might have the best sex ever. And people are like, oh, they mistake this for connection. Guys, this is not connection. Best sex ever does not mean connection. This is where we have to get really direct in love and relationships and teaching what love and relationships is, because a lot of times in society and how we've been accustomed to is to understand that, oh, if I have the best sex with this woman, this means that she's the one. But it's not the truth. It means that what other qualities is she offering in life for herself and for you? What are her standards? What are the values that the both of you uphold? And is this a healthy dynamic that the both of you have? There's more to it than that. Typically, the most unhealthy relationships do have the best sex. And this is because of the endorphins, the hot and cold, the good times and the bad times, because it's never that medium, right? It's on a great, great high, or it's on a great, great low. And this is what happens in passionate, lustful relationships. I've actually write a blog about this. It's called Lust versus Love. And I'll put it below in the description box so you guys can read that as well after this video. Now, next thing in the reasons why we get in hot and heavy relationships and they fizzle away fast is because in these hot and heavy relationships, we're not talking about what we want. We're not talking about our wants, desires. We're not talking about commitment. Sometimes in these relationships, our mentality goes, it's going so good that I don't want to mess it up. So what we've done is we've thrown our voice out the window and we said, the hell with it. It's just going so good. So why would I mess it up? So when someone tells me that, there's an avoidance that's happening here. And typically avoidance comes from, really intuition. Intuitively, you feel like, oh, this person probably isn't ready to commit. And if I just continue to show up and do whatever they want on their time and not really talk about the future or commitment after these, and it's not about like talking about, oh, we got to get in a relationship. I want to be in a relationship with you. It's really about just talking about their ideas of commitment. Like, are they just really looking for fun? Things like that, and just understanding and how they articulate this in their language. Guys and women that may be watching, but guys in the audience that I typically speak to, women that are ready for a relationship will tell you through their language, their dialogue, their conversations, no matter what. And as long as you don't expect and you come from abundance, which I talk about significantly, which is another video, this is a really good mindset to have so you can think clearly and not get blinded by these type of relationships. Because a lot of times when we get in hot and heavy relationships is because both of us somewhat are emotionally avoidant. We're emotionally unavailable, emotionally avoidant, meaning one side of the person with a hot and heavy relationship that ends up typically running away is the one that doesn't want to get emotionally involved. And then the other one wants to have love, wants to be seen, wants to be in this relationship, and sometimes has inherited codependent behaviors. And there's a lack of self-worth. There's a lack of integrity. There's a lack maybe of even self-esteem or confidence within you when it comes to dating. Now, it doesn't mean that you're not confident in the gym or in work and you bring home a great salary, whatever. And then in your relationships, you're like, why the hell can I get this right? It's completely different. Everything in life needs to be trained as a muscle. Our learning capability, our relationships with our family, our working skills, our speaking skills, whatever we must do, our relationships, our love, dating, our self-worth, our self-love, our integrity, everything requires work. And these are all principal elements and different elements. And I actually talk about this in my Break Free Codependency product. I talk about this and I also teach you how to do this and start to implement them today. I would encourage you to download that product. It'll be below in the description box. You have full access to me every month where it's part of my VIP program where I actually go in there twice a month, not even once a month anymore, and do live coaching calls with you guys and coach you on the spot. I'll put that below in this description box if you are interested, which you should be. Now, you'll notice in these relationships too that passion is really at the forefront of this relationship. And we blindly get this misconstrued with maybe we're falling in love with this person, or maybe this is the one for me. And we have to really take a bird's eye view when it comes to dating, because it's our responsibility to let in the people that we want to date. Because at the end of the day, you can't blame that other person for basically doing what they did and you falling in love with them or falling in desire for them, because you had a responsibility to play here. And that's why I say victim mentality will always set you back. Relationships are about lessons. So it's about taking a bird's eye view and saying, okay, I attract these type of women all the time, or I attract these type of relationships all the time. What am I doing wrong? How am I not showing up for my best self? And typically in the relationships like this, kindness is not at the forefront, meaning kindness of compassion or acts of service. And acts of service means like they do things for you. They go out of their way. They might do, they would do things for you and show you commitment. And acts of service is not by telling you, oh, you look good, let's do to dinner, oh, I appreciate you, I love spending time with you. That is not acts of service. Acts of service is really doing things where it's not selfish for them, where it's actually for the other person. That's what acts of service is. And this is when you know someone is really ready to invest in you. And in these relationships, you won't see that very often. And then lastly, I want to finish it up with this. Now, it's not only our responsibility to understand why we get into hot and heavy relationships, but it's also our responsibility to encourage you, my responsibility, I should say, to encourage you that if you are a man that gets in these relationships, I encourage you to really have a discussion with a girl and put the brakes on and pace yourself in the beginning and take it one step at a time when you get in these relationships. If this is something you want to solve with today and you're ready, I encourage you to download my product. It's called my Break Free of Codependency product. Click below, watch the video, and sign up. I will see you there. And as always, I'll see you in the next video. Remember, you are always loved. Bye for now.